DotaFanTV, welcome back boys and girls to the channel, and today we're going to be doing the preview of the TI10 qualifier. Oh boy, it has already been 2 years since the last TI that we had in 2019 August, and last year obviously we didn't get to do it because of the entire COVID situation. But this year, we can see that Valve are quite determined to do it, whether it's with crowd or without crowd. We are committed to a date already, August 5th. The crowd presence are still not confirmed. Having to say that, what we confirm are the venue, which is Stockholm in Sweden, and the prize pool, over 40 million up for grab for this team. I think that this it's fair to say it's the most exciting event for the entire DPC, for the entire Dota world, because your major, your regional league, and everything are leading up to this point, and all the teams are going to compete. But before we go into the tournament itself, we are going to have to go through the qualifier for some of the teams, and that is what we are going to be covering in today's show. So we're going to be talking about the format of the qualifier, the teams that are involved in each region, and which team that we predict will come out on top, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's go. Alright boys, here we have it, all the teams that are involved in the DPC and their respective DPC point, ranked from the highest to the lowest. And the top 12 over here get direct invite to the TI. So this team are already confirmed, all the way from EG all the way down to Thunder Predator are confirmed to make it to TI. But any teams that are below here, from 13 onwards, so from Nigma and go below, all this team didn't make it to TI yet, right? And their last chance to make it is through this open qualifier. So if you look over here, we have 6 open qualifier slots, and each of them is assigned for each region. So we have CIS, South America, Southeast Asia, NA, Europe, and China. So all these regions will have 1 additional slot to make it to TI. And one major difference that we have is that in previous year, all the teams, when TI approach open qualifier, anyone can form a team and can go compete in the open qualifier. But this year it'll be different. So we see over here, right? All the teams that participated in the season 2 of the regional league that aren't qualified to TI10 by finishing top 12 in DPC ranking are invited, provided that they did not replace more than 2 players from their last season's team. So which means they only take into account of teams that are involved in the most recent DPC season, if that makes sense, right? So we have the upper division and the lower division, right? For those teams that aren't in the top 12 over here, right, they will be given the opportunity to play the open qualifier or qualifier, right? But I cannot do it because I don't have a team in the lower division nor the upper division. So that's the main difference that we have over here. Alright, another point to note that is the team are seeded based on their DPC point total, followed by their standing in the final season of the regional league. So what does this mean? So maybe we use EU as examples because the names we are more familiar with it, or at least I am more familiar with it. So here we have all the teams that are going to be involved in the open qualifier, or the qualifier for Europe Western region. And then if you scroll down, right, you notice that there's actually upper bracket and lower bracket, right? The lower bracket are actually filled with teams from the lower division, and the upper bracket are teams from the, again, upper division. But there are still some teams that made it. I think the team that finishes first, which is Viking GG, get to start from the upper bracket. And Spider Pig, I believe they are from the upper bracket. They are in the upper bracket as well. They were previously from a lower division. Anyway, yeah, they were from a lower division, we can see over here. Anyway, the way that they pair the teams are based on the DPC points that they have and the ranking. So you can see Team Nigma is based on the DPC point and the standing. Is obviously the strongest, 670 points, and he'll be playing against a team that has 0 point and from the lower division that finishes second. So among the team that play in the upper division, they are the weakest team. So the strongest team kind of get a little bit of benefit by playing against the weakest team, and then so on and so forth. Alright, since we are already looking at the Western Europe region, right, we might as well just go through the teams that are involved for this region first before going through the teams from the other region, and then finally we're going to talk about our own prediction. Firstly, we have over here, I think, one of the most stacked region, because a lot of these teams are kind of, in my opinion at least, underperforming. Nigma, of course, and then Team Liquid, Team OG. I think these 3 teams are obviously the favorite to make it. But even the teams that are not the favorite to make it, we see like Viking GG, they play really good Dota. You really expect them to take game off Nigma, Liquid or OG any day of the week. And also Tundra Esports. And if you look at the final season of the DPC, obviously you can point out that OG, Liquid and Nigma didn't play well enough, but Tundra Esports, I would say that they play very good Dota, and the fact that they are able to stay in the first division, that's super stacked for 2 seasons in a row, that kind of says something as well. The lower division team, I won't really go through each and every one of them, but obviously we have Team Bolt as well. My boy Gok is inside. I don't know if they will make it or not, but if they make it, they'll be really funny, honestly. Alright, and then over here we have the CIS region, the Eastern Europe, some may call, where we have Team Spirit, leading in terms of DPC points because they have a really good showing in the major. Having to say that, I think it might be a little bit controversial for me to say. I think they are good, but not like ultra strong. And then obviously we have AS Monaco Gambit, who have decent DPC point, but they have a lot of penalty because of player leaving the org, and then looking at how some of the player leave right before they get the chance to play in a major. I don't think they are in the best condition. And then the next one we have Navi. Of course, I think they are the clear favorite to do it. You just look at the play in the team that they have: VTU, No One, Ramses, Roger, and then Soneko. This team is super stacked, but having to say that, we actually haven't seen this team play in a competitive environment, at least in the DPC yet. After it was in some way just formed after they even kicked the previous captain. So the new dynamic of the team, does it actually work or not, is still a big question mark in my opinion. And then you have Team Unique and PUBG. These two teams are gonna put in the same bucket. In the sense that they are, and even Hellraiser actually, they are kind of like, if you look at the player, right, some of them, Ghostic, Big Num, FN, Slayer, I don't really know their post one. And then on PUBG you have Meles, Astral. These are like, and then over here you have Kuman, Youngji, Resolution, Zayak, of course. So very pretty well-known CIS player in the Dota 2, but haven't really have the big breakthrough to make them qualify as the tier 1 kind of player. They're maybe like tier 2, but tier 2 that you are kind of familiar with. I think even like some of these players make it to I think Kuman was playing as a stand-in for VP for a short while, didn't work out, and then he was removed. Resolution obviously is one of those players that has been around for very long time. So these 3 teams, I will put them in the same bucket as the team that, if these 3 teams don't have a good showing, right, any of these 3 teams can take it. So in my opinion, in CI as well, is pretty stacked. It's very hard to predict which team is going to make it out. But if there are going to be a few teams that I'll look out for, is probably those that I've just pointed out. And the remaining team in the lower division, don't really know much about them. Obviously P8, we have Dandy stacked. If they make it, I'm not going to complain. Everyone loved Dandy, and loving to see Dandy back to the main stage again. Okay, next up we have China, and right now, if you look at it, right, there are already 4 teams that make it to the TI through the league and the DPC and the points that we have explained earlier. 4 teams already make it. So the 5th team is going to be going through this open qualifier, which means, if you think about it, there are already 4 strong teams removed from this open qualifier. So teams that is like decent, like Elephant, that have so many good players. They have Eurus, who is known as Paparazzi previously, and then you have Somnus maybe, and the mid Yang, FY on the post 4. This is the superstar, like the team secret of China, and they're supposed to be good, but it didn't work out for them yet so far. They did make a change before the start of I think after the end of the season last season, where they changed the position 5 to Super, who also has been around the scene for a very long time. Not sure how the dynamic is going to be like, but if there is one team is going to be a clear favorite, it has to be Elephant, because looking at how they play the 2 previous season, right, they were 5th, just didn't make it to the major, but they were right about there. But all the other teams finished below them or are in the lower division. The kind of like dark horses are probably eHome and RNG, I would say. I think RNG at the end of the season, at the beginning of the season, they did very, very well. I think they beat like 2 of the top dogs or something, but then they just follow to lose every other game in the season. eHome, of course, have my boy X Nova and Charles. I really love this guy, but haven't been performing the best in the league. They have been always 6th. Didn't get relegated, stay in the league, but that's probably it. Like, not achieving anything great as well. Phoenix Gaming is the lower division first. I haven't heard of them. Not too sure about the player as well. But yeah, that's for China. Okay, now we have come to Southeast Asia region where, oh boy, where do I start? This is my region. You know how we talk about China region where they have all the top teams already made it, so the remaining teams are like you have one clear favorite. I felt like in Southeast Asia is a complete opposite because they only have one team that made it to the major, and all the other team didn't make it. You have 3 teams that have like 500, almost 500 points or more than 500, around the 500 points mark, and all of them didn't make it. You know, TNC obviously the powerhouse of the entire. When did Mushi join TNC? Jesus, I didn't even realize this. But yeah, they have a new coach in Mushi. I think this is recent, right? Anyway, I'm gonna find out about that a bit later. And then you have OB Neon, obviously. Super good showing in the first DPC season, and then they made it to the major. They shocked everyone, and then boom, nothing happened. They didn't make it to the second major. They almost get relegated. They have to play tiebreaker to not get relegated. And we have Fnatic, who have a little bit of roster shuffle after a very disappointing season. I think they should be making it to the major. They didn't. The first season they made it to the major wasn't a very good showing. And then you have Execration, who made it to the major, decent showing. Yeah, and then last but not least, also have to talk about Team SMG. Just look at the names here; it's so stacked. We have Mid One, right, on the position 1. We have Moon. We have KP, right, another player that won a major. There's not a lot of players that won a major in this region. And we have Afu on the position 4, and then we have Rogi on position 5. This is super stacked team SMG. They finished 2nd in the lower division. They get promoted, and obviously they get to play in the TI Open Qualifier as well. Very stacked region. It's very hard to make a prediction on this one. But if there's a clear favorite, has to be TNC in my opinion, and then the dark horses are SMG, and then these two are the second favorite, I would say, Fnatic and OB Neon. Alright, next up we have NA, my Murica friend, Murica. I think in this region there are 2 teams most likely gonna make it. It's gonna be one of these 2, which is Undying and Force Zoomer. Undying is basically Moon Meander's stack, and then they have Dubu as a position 5, one of the best post 5 in the entire region. They have Brown in the mid, Saberlight, they are EU imports, and then Force Zoomer as well. Most of these names are very familiar. I think if you follow the NA region, Sammy Boy, Gunner, Brax, I think these 3 especially is just, oh shit, accidentally click on it. Can I go back? Hello? Okay, back to this. The other team, I don't know who they are, or most of them are not as popular in my opinion. I know Black and Yellow used to be the what's the guy name? Iisama's stack. He left and he joined Sad Boys. Haven't really seen them play yet, but you have Mu, you have Ryoya, Z-Freak. Decent name in this team, but I don't have much confidence, if I'm honest. If they make it, obviously I'm not hating. If they make it, good. I always live for underdog story. But in my opinion, if I'm gonna put my money, it's gonna be between these 2 teams. Most likely Undying, honestly. Okay, last but not least, we have the South America region. I'm not gonna lie, I know very little about the region. And what I did earlier was I went on to Google GGBet or whatever to look at which team have the best odds to make it out of the entire thing, or which team has the lowest pay rate, just because how well the team is based on the betting odds and all. I found that obviously No Ping Esports is the team that everybody is looking out for, and I think SG Esports is also another team that everyone is kind of like putting a pretty low win rate, win payment, like when you win the money that you get, whatever that's called. Anyway, again, most likely it's going to be no ping, honestly. If you just look at the DPC points difference, it's, you know, it's crazy. 500 points against 170. They didn't have the best showing in the major, but that's also because they met one of the strongest team. We only get to see them play, what, 2 or 3 series or something like that. So yeah, if there's one team I have to pick, there have to be no ping esports. The other team, I'm sorry, know very little about the region. Yeah. Alright, boys and girls, last but not least, like I've mentioned earlier in the video, we're going to be making some prediction. For those who don't know, you can go on Dota, go to Watch tab, and then if you go to Watch tab, this is what you see. Go all the way to the bottom, you have the Make Prediction tab over here, so when you click on it, you can predict which team to win. And for every single team that you got correct, you will actually be rewarded with 1,000 shot, you know, courtesy of Valve, not from me. Anyway, let's start. NA, I think winner is quite straightforward. Team Undying, and then we have EU. I'm gonna be biased on this one. Fuck it. I'm gonna say OG. I'm a fan. I support them, and I like Sumail, so why not? China as well, I think is very straightforward. Similar to NA, I'm gonna take Elephant. South America, no ping. CIS qualifier. I think this one is a bit difficult. I'm gonna throw a bit of a curveball. I'm not gonna say Navi, although they are strong. I'm gonna pick a team that is gonna be. You know what? I really like Hellraiser. Was it Hellraiser? The team that has resolution and all. I think it's Hellraiser, right? Let me take a look. Was it? Eastern Europe. Yes, resolution. Yes, Hellraiser. I'll pick Hellraiser. They have Kuman, Resolution, and Zayak. You know, why not? Why not? Southeast Asia. This is a hard one. Fnatic, TNC, SMG, OB Neon. Honestly, oh boy, this is difficult. It's not gonna be Fnatic. I'm not gonna pick them because I'm not too sure about their performance. OB Neon has the highest high in my. Actually, no, maybe TNC as well. But I really like SMG. You know what? Screw the favorite, right? I'm gonna throw a bit of curveball and I say Team SMG. I want to see one make it to TI and then give the death stare to no one. Like, you fucker, you kicked me, you asshole. Anyway, this is gonna be my prediction. Alright, boys and girls, if you want to follow the TI10 qualifier for each particular region, we have the date displayed over here. Starting from June 23rd, which is this weekend actually, we have Eastern Europe, which is CIS and SA. And then next weekend, we have Southeast Asia and NA. And the final weekend, which is July 7th to July 10th, will be Western Europe and China qualifier. We will be providing an update in this channel, so if you want more video like that, click on the like button, let me know, and also subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.